Let me tell you why I love Anchor. Like, seriously, everybody knows, that who listens to my podcast, that I'm a newbie. And I haven't had my podcast that long. But the reason why I love Anchor is because one, it's so easy. It's free and everybody love free. There's creation tools that you can record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I'm always on my phone. Even if I'm on the go, I can record my podcast. I can edit my podcast. They distribute to all the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Like, they do all of that for you within the app. You can make money from your podcast, no minimum listenership. Everything you need to know to make a podcast is in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's so easy. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. If you're passionate about something, make a podcast. It's so easy. And you can talk all day about whatever it is that you're passionate about. So go ahead and go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey guys. Welcome to That Shit Was Poetic. This is my first episode, and I'm glad to be releasing this on Black History Month, which is today is February 28th, and I'm so proud because, this is the month where Black people get to celebrate all of our history, although we should be celebrating it, every day, but it's not done like that. So anyway, I'm not even going to get into that little spill. But anyway, today is my first episode. I'm happy as hell about that. So, today I'll be reading a piece of work that I did. And this piece is inspired by the song Blue Skies. And it's inspired by Ella Fitzgerald, who sung it. I believe it was also sung by Josephine Baker. And those are some of the most popular singers back in the day, Black culture, So I'm celebrating those two people. I definitely know it was also sung before those two. I'm not sure who the originator is. I probably could look that up. But I was inspired when I heard Ella Fitzgerald sing it, and it inspired me to write a short piece on it, and I'm going to go ahead and read that today. So it's called Blue Skies. And honestly, I wrote this back in 2015. So here goes. I'm trapped in a blue life, blue heart, blue life. Does blue come in a form of happy or sad? This world is blue. My eyes see everything that wondering eyes would see. They take me to a foreign place. Blue life. Upward feelings. Downward emotions. Left and right blue love. Blue love. Mixed feelings. I wish I could be on a blue cloud. This blue heart of mine, drowning in this blue life. Thank you. So, again, that was inspired by Ella Fitzgerald, and it's called Blue Skies. So, I'm going to go ahead and go into this podcast is basically, something that everyone can relate to. When you hear something, it doesn't matter what it is, and you're like, that shit was poetic. My name is Nikki, and I'll be your host. I know I should have did that at the beginning, but, things don't go always as planned. And this podcast is definitely something that, just go with the flow. It's a vibe, and that's just how it is. So My name is Nikki Solomon. I created this podcast because, I've been writing since I was a kid, and I always wanted to write a book. Haven't gotten around to doing it yet, but that's definitely on my bucket list. So I put this podcast together, talk about some of the poetic things in life, music, art, movies, anything that makes you say that shit was poetic. That's basically what we'll be talking about on this podcast. So I hope you guys subscribe, listen to, tell your friends, share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever, you can share it. I would appreciate it. I also will be reading a lot of my work that I've been writing over the years that I've always wanted to get out there. So that's what I'll be doing on this podcast. I'm glad, again, that I'm releasing it in Black History Month because, we don't always get to talk about, things that our Black leaders and creators have done. So I definitely wanted to, discuss some of those things since it's Black history, and, I want to celebrate some of the Black inventors. Every year we talk about, the mainstream Black leaders, Martin Luther King. They don't talk about as much as they should Malcolm X, Oprah, Barack Obama, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. Those are some of the leaders that they discuss on a more regular basis, and some of those more newer than others. But what really upsets me is when you have racist people in the world. And, some of those racist people are using some of the things that our Black inventors created way back when. And it makes me feel a type of way because I'm like, without a lot of our Black inventors creating these things that we use today, there wouldn't be any. I'm pretty sure that it would have came out eventually, but thanks to our inventors. So some of the ones that, I want to touch on. What about the traffic light, by Garrett Morgan? What about it? We use traffic lights every day when we drive, What about Frederick McKinley Jones? He created the refrigerated truck. All those companies who are using trucks, who work in, food processing and things like that. He handled that. So we need to start to talking about more Black people who created and invented these things. The automatic elevator door, open and closing. Who created that? Another Black inventor, Alexander. I don't remember his last name, but I know his name was Alexander. Marjorie Stewart Joyner. She created a piece of device that was used for hair weaves to curl it. I mean, who used curling irons every day? When I had hair, I know I did. So she created that device, a curling device. We call it flat irons, curling irons. I mean, it's been, advanced over the years, but if we want to give credit, she created that. So yeah, I want to talk about those people, and give them their credit. And I want to say thank you. We should be talking about this every day. I know in my home, we are starting to discuss Black history, a lot. I've been more interested in my Black culture, and I know when I was a kid, I definitely hated history. I mean, we didn't talk about Black history that much. Again, we had the few that they discussed, but we didn't talk about it that much. But I definitely, feel like as, the older I get, the more intrigued I am with Black culture and the things that, our ancestors went through and did, and, just to make it how it is today. And although we still go through racism and, modern day slavery, I still am proud to be a Black American. So I wanted to touch a little bit on that. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I definitely wanted to talk about it. And since it's Black History Month, I had to. So I'm glad you guys, are tuning in. So I hope you continue to tune in, and again, share this podcast with your friends on all your social media handles. Tune in, because I'll be talking about a bunch of different things, about things that are definitely poetic. So I want you to tune in, because again, how many times are we like listening to something, watching something, we see something, we're like, that shit is poetic, So that's what I want you to feel. So tune in. All right. Holla at your girl. Share my stuff. Do all of that. Thank you.